All right, hey everybody, welcome to an emergency live stream um, from Nephew Hours. There's a lot of things that have happened today. The trade moratorium was lifted today. Joining me today is, if you can see the labels, Usman down under, DJT on my left. I can't even, I don't know my directions, but or right. Is same whatever it is. I don't know my directions, but
I am
um,
DJT. Usman is.
but y'all know who it is. But welcome to this emergency live stream. Like I said, there's a lot of things that we have to discuss and go over. The first thing I do want to talk about, the spiciest thing. Um, I'm pretty sure everyone has heard today is that Kyle Kuzma of the Los Angeles Lakers tweeted out earlier. I enough disrespect on my name, y'all will be reminded. I just wanted to say, I guess we're going to be reminded about how dog shit he is as a player and how he got carried to the finals. DJT, as a resident Laker fan, you can counter me on this one, but that is my that is my take on that.
It's
I'm not going to be surprised. Look, Kyle Kuzma ain't going to remind anybody. He's just going to remind anybody that he can score 10 points a game and only shoot 30%. That's it.
yeah. It's This is so weird. I don't know. Kyle Kuzma. I would like to at least keep one of our. I just appreciated the fact that we kept at least like one of our homegrown guys, because there is that sense of I lived, or like I survived through all the pain and torment of the past. Even if he was one of the newer guys, and having Kuz, I think sells that. Um, I wouldn't be really mad if we trade him. It'd probably just mean that like I'd just be mad at myself for paying $35 for a Kuzma Nike T-shirt. That would be my
Yikes.
steaming takeaway
Yeah,
from that. But yeah, I like Kuz. It's just that he does have weird social media conduct. And yeah, I think that's it. He has a weird track, but yeah, I don't know. Kuzma's weird, but I can live through a trade if we ever get him for someone better.
I saw a tweet from him earlier where he said he had 5 PS5s to give away, and people were like, "Oh, he's trying to get on the fans' good side."
Oh my gosh, whatever. But
I want
into
five.
into onto more legitimate news here.
Actually,
Um,
before we get to
what's up?
legit news, Miggy, I think you buried the lead here. Clearly the biggest story of tonight is
What's
that
up?
Nicholas Batum accepted his $27 million player option with the Hornets. I mean, come on
Oh
now.
my god. No. We're not going to discuss that one. That's so lame. That's so stupid. We all knew that was gonna happen. Okay, we
Yeah.
I don't
all
think we all knew. I
knew.
just think most of us didn't
No,
care.
we all
Well, yeah, you
okay,
either
look. One, we didn't
you either knew he was going to do it, or you didn't even know he was in the league. I think that's
Yeah,
look.
because no one
the
cares for
deal.
the Hornets. They're a low budget team that has Michael Jordan as their owner. Batum is like a tier 5 small forward wing.
Easily
I
the
Who cares?
worst contract. The worst contract in the
even
league.
worse than John Wall.
Easily. Worse than John Wall, worse than Al Horford.
All right.
Easily the worst.
Convinced, because what does he do? Nothing. I mean, but to be fair though, I actually don't know any Charlotte Hornets like things because I don't watch the Hornets, so I don't know. um, so we're gonna dive into the actual news. Before we get to the spiciest thing that's happened in the past couple of hours, I kind of want to touch upon Chris Paul being traded earlier this morning. Um,
Lost
oh,
on.
we lost DJT. Man down, man down. But um, he'll be back in a second, I think. Let us see here. Oh, he had a dip. He's gonna be back in a little bit, so he'll be back on stream in just a moment here.
Okay, that's fine.
But I do want to talk about Chris Paul and the Suns because that did happen this morning. Personally, I love the trade for both sides. I have no complaints about it. Um, the Suns get Chris Paul, who they've been pursuing for the past week. They also get Abdel Nader, who I guess is a solid bench piece for them. I mean, he's just a throw-in. But with Chris Paul and the Suns now, this allows the Suns to maybe have a legitimate, an even more legitimate shot at being the playoffs. At minimum, they're going to be in the play-in game or play-in tournament. That's at minimum. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think they're making the playoffs.
I think at minimum they're making the play-in tournament. Whatever, I can't determine if they're going to make the playoffs for sure, depending on if they what happens in the free agency. Because I know we're jumping around here, but Paul Millsap has been rumored to be going to the Portland Trail Blazers. We don't know. So that's something to take note of. So I won't be able to determine something for the Suns until post free agency, because the West is a bloodbath. But for the Thunder though, I love the trade too. They get Rubio, Kelly Oubre, Ty Jerome, and I believe Jalen LeCue, and also the 2022 draft class, right? And so with that, I think I feel bad for Rubio because he was obviously very, very salty. He was very, very salty that that he had
Oh,
to
we got
be.
Dan.
Ooh, Dan's hopping in, surprise guest. But with Rubio, he I feel he got stabbed in the back. I feel Kelly Oubre got stabbed in the back too, because
Rubio's gonna land on it. Like Rubio's gonna get a fine like starting or bench job. He can go.
oh my gosh.
He's gonna be fine.
Did you
He's
guys
gonna be
see?
fine.
Did you guys see how they had Oubre modeling the Suns?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna bring up. That's what I was gonna bring up. That's what I was gonna bring up.
You assholes! Why would
But
you
they
do that?
they traded
to
him after he promoted them.
Messed up, man.
Look, but like, let's be real here though. But yeah, like literally though, look, the Thunder get a good deal. They get young pieces. They get a solid point guard in Rubio. The more important thing is the 2022 back.
Shit, 2022 is like
22
it's
draft
like
class. But that
Victor
means
Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren
no,
and
Chet,
Amani
Chet Holmgren
Bates.
and Amoni Bates. Yes, that's the trade they're doing here.
It's like an insane draft class.
But they don't know. They also don't know if you're 18, you can declare yet, right? So that's the thing. But yeah, that's my take on the CP3 and to Phoenix trade. That's my thing.
I think it's a good trade.
I think it's a good trade all around.
Yeah, I mean, now the Thunder, I think they have like
90 picks.
Yeah, they have like 17 draft picks in the next
Jesus
6 years or something like that.
Are you serious? What?
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
They have like 17 draft picks in the next 6. Wait, does that include second rounders or is that all first rounders?
All first rounders.
Oh my god. How could they not they're going to stumble upon at least like one or two all-star players just by accident.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's no way that
maybe
doesn't happen.
maybe a whole starting five.
Like that. That's just rules of law. That's just rule of law. They're gonna find at least one player as good as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That's just gonna happen.
No, he's gonna. Sam Presti's gonna repeat history by having 3 All-Stars and not winning a championship.
Yeah, and then they're gonna go to other teams and win MVPs one after the other.
Quickly though, before we move on to the bigger news today, is funny
Fuck your
tweet
news. I mean, I hate your news. I don't swear.
Funny tweet was from Haley O'Shaughnessy. I saw today, and she was saying, what you call it? The Thunder collecting first round draft picks is a metaphor for capitalism. I thought it was pretty funny.
They're Sam Presti is like Smaug sitting on a horde of first round picks.
No, Sam Presti is literally what you call it? Fuck, what was his name? Jeff Bezos.
Shit, the Jeff Bezos of draft.
He's like Thanos. He's putting
He's pretty much that.
he's getting those draft picks like Infinity Stones.
Honestly, no, but I'm
Brother.
dead serious. I think this is what happened. Is he probably looked at Danny Ainge, who spent years and years never actually tanking,
Look.
but just making smart trades and getting a shit ton of draft picks.
But we all know, look, history's going to repeat himself. They're not going to win a championship, and that's what's going to be. They're all going to leave, and they're all going to win championships.
Speaking of not winning championships,
Uh-huh.
this is a great transition. Did you guys hear the latest Harden news?
Fuck you.
I wish I hadn't.
Look, all right.
Hey,
all right.
don't worry too much about it.
How much?
before-
We the North era was great. It's over now.
Oh, of
It's
course,
time
yeah,
to
it's over now.
rebuild.
Raptors.
Hey, Usman, do you think the Heat will give a first-round pick for Lowry's last year or on his contract?
I'm not sure they can because of the Stepien rule.
They can't. I don't think they can do back-to-back years.
Yeah, because they've already given up 2021 and I think 2023 as well. I think
I
the
don't.
Thunder
I
have
think.
both of those.
I don't think they can do. I don't think they can do back-to-back in the same trade, but I believe they can do separate.
Oh no!
I don't know how the trade rules work.
Oh yeah, maybe. I don't know.
But screw you guys. We're talking about
if they get-
Harden.
if they get
Okay.
To answer your question, if they get Dragic back, I don't think they would do that.
Probably not. But also, Harden is. There's a chance that they form the best offensive trio in the history of basketball.
So before we actually dive into all this Harden news, I just want to put this out here. This is like my neutral, like, reporter type, like, talking here. Like, there's multiple conflicting reports now, and I think this is all public negotiation. I think this has all been very obvious from the get-go how this has been going. If we remember, Farbad and Sanari initially reported this, saying that James Harden to the Brooklyn Nets was a legitimate thing. Woj came out yesterday and reported Harden to the Nets was a legitimate thing. He came out with an article literally just 30 minutes ago saying that Harden declined a $50 million a year extension to force his way to the Nets. So far there has been no meaningful discussions according to Woj, but that's as of now. Anything can change in the next 24 to 48 hours.
You know what the most meaningful discussion is him declining a $50 million extension. That means
that's the tell. He wants the hell out of there.
Not only does he want to leave, like he wants out now, like right now.
So Woj in his article, he described it as the AD is like an AD situation, but this time with Harden, right?
Yeah.
So that's something to take note of.
But the AD trade didn't really work out for the Lakers in the end. It
Okay. All right. All right. With the trolling here, but
yeah, hey, AD's a free agent. All right, that's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, 1 year rental, just like.
Oh yeah, like he's definitely gonna leave the Lakers. But just now that's been tweeted by Mark Stein. He reported that the Rockets at this juncture remain intent on keeping James Harden and try to rebuild the team's relationship with him. I think that's just, again, this is all public negotiation.
Good luck.
This is the Rockets literally saying, look, we're trying our best to keep Harden. Shams Charania came out today saying that the Rockets are trying to repair the relationship. He also went out on video saying that it's going to take a massive haul, which we all know, and that they wouldn't listen to any of the offers from Brooklyn unless it involved Kyrie Irving and or Kevin Durant. I mean, let's be real here. That's not gonna happen. He also reported that the Sixers were interested in Harden. However, if the Sixers were to trade for Harden, they need to give up Ben Simmons. Shams reported that the Sixers are not willing to give up Ben Simmons if they were going to trade. Yes.
Why?
Yes. That's what I don't know. That's what Shams
maybe Elton Brand. Maybe Goat is Elton Brand's burner account. I don't know. But,
we don't know. But that's what Shams Charania said, that the Rockets want Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant in a trade. They want Ben Simmons in trade. Obviously, the Nets are going to trade Kyrie Irving or Kevin Durant.
Yo,
right?
Rockets, we'll give you Siakam. We'll straight up, you
Like,
can have
they're not
Siakam
gonna
if you give us Harden.
and as we've read from as we've seen from Shams, he said verbatim that the Sixers are not inclined to trading Simmons. Look, my personal take here being nobody like being legitimately serious here. When you have, Woj, you have Farbot and Sonari, who sure we can question his credibility, but he has been right so far, and he is a contributor for The Athletic and Forbes. You have the Houston Chronicle earlier today saying, I need to scroll back for this tweet. It's been a while, but the Houston Chronicle is saying that Harden himself wants to go to Brooklyn, right? So that's Houston's newspaper, right? Wanting Harden. What you call it? I have more reports saying now that from Mark Berman saying that NBA sources confirm multiple sources that James Harden does want to be traded, but only to the Brooklyn Nets, where he would be reunited with Kevin Durant. So there's a lot of reporters now saying that James Harden only wants to go to Brooklyn, right? Woj reported here now that again, this man has turned down a $50 million offer to stay in Houston and wants to go to Brooklyn.
Dan, let me
Right.
relieve some of your concern here. I saw a tweet by Rob Perez where Nash.
That's worldwide wob.
Just listen.
He's memeing.
Nah, I know he's memeing, but just hear me out here. If you haven't seen it, he made a tweet where he said, "Next season, game on the line. In the timeout huddle, Steve Nash is gonna ask, all right, who's taking the last shot?' Kevin Durant's gonna say, 'Are you serious?' James Harden's gonna say, 'If you get the rebound, it's yours.' And Kyrie Irving's gonna say, 'I already shot it.'" So,
I love the memes.
We've seen time and time again, just acquiring star talent isn't enough to win. They have to be compatible. And I'm not sure those three guys are compatible. I'll just be honest.
People keep saying that, but like at a certain point, look, being compatible can only take you so far. You could argue the Raptors are one of the most compatible teams in the NBA. They still lost the Celtics in 7 because they didn't have as much talent as the Celtics. The Heat, very compatible, managed to get to the finals. They had no chance against the Lakers because the Lakers had LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
Well, those two guys were compatible superstars.
Well, that is true. Like LeBron James and Anthony Davis have, as superstars, two of the most complementary game sets ever.
Look, I'm just saying this is very slowly turning into not even slowly. This is rapidly turning into an AD to like the Lakers situation, right?
Except imagine if the Lakers also got Kawhi. Like that's how.
Yeah,
that's what this is.
What's Harden's contract right now? Is he on an expiring?
No, he has 2 more. He's a 2+1 left. According to Stein, it's I think 40 million, 43 million, and then a player option for 46.9.
He might starve.
However, Woj in his article said, Harden sees this as a 2-year window to he sees it as a 2-year window to win a championship, and he obviously sees his best chance with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, who again are going to be in Brooklyn for 2 to 3 years.
Here's the thing: is my impression. If Harden goes to Brooklyn to play with Kyrie and Katie, I'm pretty sure he's going there with the mindset that he's willing to change how he plays. Like he wouldn't go there. Like it's not as it like. I'm pretty sure AD understood his role was going to change when he went to the Lakers, and it did. I'm pretty sure that I don't know. What's another example of a player who forced a trade?
I don't know.
See, the differences between Anthony Davis and James Harden is that Anthony Davis doesn't really have an ego.
Okay. That's true.
He doesn't. That is true, but I don't think James Harden's ego is so monstrously huge that it's going to like.
So I think with this right now is to answer like Dan's like concerns here, or not really concerns, but statement is if Harden, is willing to go play with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and his point will be true here that Harden's willingly giving up his hero ball role, right? It's a sign that he wants to play in a system where there's possibly more ball movement, right? And might be something that has been emphasized when he was working out. And this is a key point. He worked out with Kyrie and KD the past couple of weeks in LA, right? So um, they've either been
100% just
they've been
tampering the whole time.
we all
Just-
know. I mean, let's be real. Everyone who works out together does that. But
Yeah,
I
player
think this
tampering is legal.
I think here, right? If
Didn't they
if Kyrie,
send Chris Paul to the Suns to tamper?
yeah, pretty much. But I'm gonna say, like, look, if Kyrie and KD are selling Harden and recruiting him here, right? They're selling the idea that Steve Nash and D'Antoni, who I'm going to assume are going to be in charge of the Brooklyn Nets offense, are going to install a system that will be heavy in ball movement and spacing and transition play. That's what that's what I'm going to say to that. My Homer thing is, look, I don't care what kind of offense they run, whether it's ISO or ball movement. If you have Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, James Harden, who the hell can you double team? You can't double team anybody. They're
The
all gonna get
only
buckets on you. If you somehow cover them, guess who's wide open in the fucking corner?
Joe
Joe
Harris.
Harris. There you go. Threes all around. Who
And
knows?
like here's the thing. The only teams that can guard them one-on-one are not good enough on offense to outscore them, even if they're being guarded well. Like, I love Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, Siakam. That's like an okay defensive matchup. Not great, but it's like you could potentially limit them to like 25 points each, which would probably be like a significant feat. Maybe not like a feat, but you know what I mean?
Mhm.
They're not going to score 25 points each while also limiting like Kyrie, KD, and Harden to 25 points each. Like, that's not
Look,
going to happen.
I firmly
It-
believe in my heart they're gonna all score 20 above.
Well, that's the issue. Is like
That's that's easy in today's game.
Yeah,
no.
that's
I
true.
would go so far as to say, like, we always talk about certain teams like the Celtics or the Raptors. They have, oh yeah, on any given night someone can give you 20.
Mhm.
With the Nets, not only would you have like on any given night someone give you would have on any given night someone can give you 30. Like, and
Yeah.
that's
Maybe even 50. That's the crazy thing here.
Harden drops 40 points like regularly.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to, like, that's not that rare of an occurrence for him. Harden does it all the time.
Yeah, but he's only able to do that when his usage is at like 35. Or,
Okay,
and-
record high
And
usage.
that's a fair point.
Like, but
The
even
thing-
then, okay, so pass it to Harden. Like, passing it to Harden for the Rockets still got them to, what was it, the 4th seed in the West?
Fifth.
So imagine adding
they
that.
pass to Harden every year.
Yeah, well, like, but imagine that, and like, worst case scenario, you don't fully utilize KD and Kyrie, which they probably will, by the way. I think KD is going to be the primary option on that team, assuming he's healthy. Otherwise, it'll be Harden.
So here's my thing. I think, like, best, like, look, each one of them is going to average 20 the whole season. Let's be real here. That's
at
a huge
least
possibility.
that's Kyrie might dip
least.
below 20, but certainly
No,
KD.
I think he
and
breaks
Harden.
20. He breaks 20. At maximum, I
all-
think Kyrie gets 22.
They all have to break 20, otherwise their egos will get in the way. And that's ultimately what I think the downfall of this team will be. Just the ego management.
That's my fear too. Like, look, I mean, this is a totally different situation between the whole KG and Paul Pierce scenario. The scenario here is
Golden State had DeMarcus Cousins, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green.
Yeah, but they didn't really play as much together because Boogie Cousins was
Yeah,
injured.
Cousins was injured for most of it, and
Yeah.
Kevin Durant and Draymond Green got in a public feud that basically resulted in Kevin leaving the team.
pretty much.
When Draymond told him, "We don't need you. We won without you."
I mean, that's true, but they only won one championship, and then they blew a 3-1 lead. Right.
And then
then they called.
and the
And then Draymond called
finals.
for KD. So
And then in the finals, the game they won by 1 point, they won it because KD played for 12 minutes.
yeah.
Mhm.
So like
Yeah.
so here's my thing. So I think all of them will average 20 and above. I think that's a given, right?
Yeah, they have to.
You have two of the best scorers of all time,
Three.
and then also, I wouldn't say Kyrie's one of the best scorers of all
He
time.
can do it.
I was going to say arguably like the best ball handler, like pure ball handler of all time. He's up
Mhm.
there.
I just think, right, like you have these three like averaging all these numbers, right? So now let's say one game Kyrie is off, right? Who else takes over? James Harden or Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant's
Tomac
off.
is back.
James Harden and Kyrie Irving. James Harden's off. Who's there? Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. Like no matter what, whoever is like off or is relaxing, look, then there you go. Like there's a huge possibility. Like no matter what, someone's gonna score 30 on this team. That's a huge possibility. Like anyone can score 30 on this given night.
Hey, DJT. We're just talking about the
what I
doom of the
said, though.
East.
I am back. I am so my parents called me down because we apparently got like 2 tubs of Popeye's chicken, and
Well,
I
give
was
me
like,
some of that.
yeah,
Well,
I,
give
I,
me some
I
of
was
that.
like, yeah, I'm not passing that up. So
Fair enough. Fair.
yeah,
I mean, share that. Share that for the draft stream.
I absolutely will. I'll even buy some. I'll buy 3 tugs.
Share that for the draft stream on Wednesday. Which again, reminder
Get like,
to all our viewers right now. Draft stream is on Wednesday. Tune in for that one. Yes. Anyway, yeah, but we're talking about James Harden, possibly going to Brooklyn. There are conflicting rumors, but again, there's, the
I just want to
overwhelming
go.
report. The overwhelming thing is, it's more than likely with the amount of reporters going out saying that James Harden wants to go only to Brooklyn. We're talking about the possibilities of what Brooklyn can do with James Harden.
Well, I think the offensive ceiling is high, right? You're talking about a guy who has shown himself to score 40 points a night on a consistent basis. He's Harden. I don't need to say anything besides that. If he were to go on, I'd just be wary of what Brooklyn would do if all 3 of them were on the same floor together in like the last 5-6 minutes of a game.
Yeah, you weren't here earlier. I saw a tweet by Rob Perez where he said, it's the last shot in the timeout huddle. Steve Nash asks who's taking it. Kevin Durant says, "Are you serious?"
But,
James Harden says, "If you get the rebound, it's yours." And Kyrie Irving says, "I've already shot the ball."
Here's the thing about that, though. Here's the thing about that, though. They don't need to take the last shot if they're already up 40. Like, I'm just...
Fair. Thank you, Dan.
Like,
I don't know if they
no
have
one
the
wants to
defense.
think about it, but like this
I don't-
could be a KD Warriors situation where they
I
just
don't
blow
think so.
out every fucking team.
I don't
Sorry,
think so, 'cause
every
they don't-
team.
I think
They
the
don't have
Warriors
We
have
traded
an
for Bruce
advantage.
Brown. We've
They don't have
solved
the
all our
defense
issues.
to do that.
We traded for Bruce Brown today for James Harden 2.0, John and Musa.
No,
Shout out to
if
the
we-
Pistons for getting fleeced today and being stupid for wanting to even trade for John and Musa.
Serious question: who's Bruce Brown?
He's Drew Holiday light, literally
Okay.
for the he's Drew Holiday light. He's solid
yeah,
off the
it's
bench for
like-
the Pistons. Shooting is inconsistent, but he's a solid 3-and-D guy though. Pretty good defender. He actually clamped James Harden to be 4 for 20 and like 6 turnovers.
Usman, I think what would end up being the as you said with the Rob tweet, just have Steve Nash taking the last shot, like have him.
I wouldn't
Like-
mind. I wouldn't even mind that.
Like,
he
just
I wouldn't
goes
even
back,
mind that.
goes
Steve
back,
Nash
rips
would,
off
like-
that suit.
He'd be the slowest motherfucker on the court, but still
Who
probably
cares?
he'd still probably shoot 40% from 3.
Look, Steve Nash can go out there, right? He'll pull up for 3, but he's such a gifted passer that when they double team him, to try to contest it, he'll just pass it to one of them who's open and a bang, game over. Nets win by 50. Who knows, right? Like
right, guys.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. They'll be arguing for the last shot even while they're up 50. It's like
No, but okay, so
All right,
like,
guys.
they're gonna make
no more.
Nash call a timeout. They're gonna make Nash call a timeout just so they can argue because like they all have like 40. They all have 47 points and they all want to get to 50.
But okay,
I
but
want you to- I
legitimate
want-
serious though.
Oh, okay.
And nobody
Well,
else on the
we're-
team is any
Wait,
points.
before-
legitimate serious.
But before you get serious, hold on. I just want to make one more meme comment. Imagine one day, I want you to picture this in the Nets locker room. James Harden comes in late because he spent all night at one of Brooklyn's many adult entertainment clubs. Kyrie Irving says to him, "I can't deal with you right now. You're bad for my mental space." And meanwhile, Kevin Durant is just sitting on a bench tweeting all of it from burner accounts.
Look, look. I mean, look. I'm just saying they're all good friends. Let's whatever. Look, if this implodes, sure. That's a huge possibility.
They're gonna blow
I'm
a
just
3-1
glad this
lead.
even happened.
They're gonna blow a
Okay,
3-1
I'm
lead
just glad
against
this is even a
the
possibility.
Tampa Bay Raptors in the first round.
So legitimate seriousness though, like, this was said on Kyrie and Katie's podcast. Katie's podcast, the etceteras. When he
Produced
interviewed
by
Kyrie.
Rich Kleiman.
Yeah. So, but I mean, with Kyrie Irving, and this is all before the James Harden talk, right? But they said, someone asked, what happens, when you guys are in a close game, who takes the final shot? And both of them said whoever's hot that game, right?
That's actually a very good answer.
So, I mean, they can argue all they want, but let's be real here.
It's a good
Right?
answer.
That's going to be most likely the scenario, right? If Kyrie Irving's hot that game, like let's say game 1 versus the Timberwolves, right? Last season when he was dropping 50, damn well Katie and James Harden are going to pass the ball to him, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, like, there's never going to be a night where all three of them are cold, ever.
Yeah.
Maybe against like a really, really good defense, but I don't think a really, really good defense is going to be enough to beat them in a 7-game series because that team can score 150 points.
Fuck defense. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually,
it's a 7 seconds or less. 7 seconds or less offense, and the try for the first 7 seconds of the shot clock defense.
Speaking
then
of
give up.
7 seconds or less.
Oh my god.
Actually, no, in all seriousness,
It's the Lou
7
Will defense where you look really cool while you stop trying.
7 passes or less.
Amazing.
7 passes.
No, 20 dribbles or more.
Wait, Miggy, how shocked were you when you heard the Steve Nash hiring by Brooklyn? Were you like surprised? Were you like?
I know we talked about it like a long time ago, but I'll reiterate this one again. It's the same reaction I had about like Harden's news dropping. I was generally like blown out of the water. I was like, oh crap, this came out of nowhere. But I'm down for it. It's different. I'm all about it.
I think what Steve can do, and he's shown this, I think, readily throughout those mid-late 2000 Suns years when he was the floor general. He's very well capable enough to maneuver an offense, and the fact that he has a good amount of his staff being from those same teams. I think the methodology of how they're going to run through that offense, whoever it may be, especially if it's just Kyrie, KD, for the time being, he'll find a way. I think the Nets will be able to. Just the offense will play. Like it'll take some time because, of course, new teams are new teams. You need to get used to having everybody there and figure out which pieces fall into play. But I think Nash will definitely help out with figuring out who gets the ball in what situation. So,
Harden just Instagram storied just like a picture of a bottle cap.
Oh shoot! Can someone
now? Just now?
Bull,
Yep.
Producer Bull, can you show this on our stream so we can see what we're talking about?
Okay. While he's doing that, I just want to give a quick shout out. I'm reading the chat, the live chat as we're going, and Franco just made an interesting point. He said, "I think this trio is the universe's way of giving us a bizarro version of what OKC could have been." That's an interesting concept.
I think so with Franco. I think I can go with that take. Obviously you'll have Katie and Harden, and then you'll have a better point guard. I'm not even trying to be biased about that. Like this is like that's a legitimate. Oh, I think we're. You can't hear us.
Oh,
Further?
I'm the one who's sharing the cap.
Oh, that's
Oh,
you.
okay. Yeah. So, but here's the thing, right? So, you you have Kyrie Irving is a better point guard, right? More efficient than Russell Westbrook, right? You know, um, he would, if Kyrie Irving and prime Kyrie Irving is here,
He's in his prime. He's like 28.
yeah. And then I think yes, I agree with I agree with Franco. Like this could have, and this is one where there's no other like super team, but the Nets, and then LeBron and AD. That's what it is, and I agree with it. And what was that? It's just a body armor. It's just product placement.
It's cat.
Oh, that.
Is cat.
What?
Oh wait, hold on. Is this subliminal messaging?
He takes
Ah,
off the bottle cap and then puts it down and then points to the cap.
Interesting.
So wait, what? Like cap about what?
I don't know, man. It's
No
cap.
cap.
Oh
No
no,
cap,
cap.
bro.
Shit. Look, all right.
I don't
We're
know
going-
what it is.
This is the
We're-
dumbest fucking thing we've
We're
ever analyzed.
we're going deep into this now.
I think this is a sign the
investigate.
stream needs to end soon.
Nephew Hours investigative like time. Put me on
Stop.
the thinking cap.
The only takeaway I'm getting from this is that
So James Harden is thirsty.
it's that. Well, I mean, we all know that, but the only thing I'm getting from this is if Harden's on this wavelength, he and Kyrie will get along fine.
I don't understand why Tillman Fertitta lost
Hey.
Harden. I mean, Tillman Fertitta offered him $50 whole.
So
like,
$50
a
$50
whole
million.
$50.
No,
this is Tillman. When he said 50, he meant like $50.
I'm watching this Instagram video right now. Actually,
He's trying to pay Harden. Trying to pay Harden
even- he
50,000.
he even tags drink body armor.
Oh well, I mean it's still
What
cap.
a guy. But so I think what he's trying to cap. Here's my take on it. I think he's capping because you have the initial
How
Woj
about
report.
this is
right?
we're going too deep on this, guys. We need to calm down.
This is my take. This is my take because we're having fun. It's peak off season right now. I think my take on this is that Woj comes out right, and then moments later, all these Stein comes out denying, like all these reports are coming out that like no, the Rockets are trying to save everything, blah 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 blah. I think Harden. I'm telling you, Harden wants to go to the Nets. That's all it is.
Did
You
the
know what
Nets
I'm
even have
telling
the
you?
salary? Do the Nets even have the salaries to make that happen? Like, is that even possible?
Yes, we do. Yes.
Who?
You know what I'm telling you?
It would have to get. It would. You can either trade a combination of either Dinwiddie, Levert, Prince, or Allen to make the salaries match. Any three of the four work.
It's cap.
Oh, so you're gutting your team? Okay.
Pretty much, yes. But we have Bruce Brown, our savior. So here
He
we go.
offered him $50 whole.
I don't know.
That's a great connection.
There you go.
I
I
will-
kind of.
Here's
Oh,
my
yeah.
take. I think that the Nets press conferences are going to be more entertaining than the Nets games.
I will.
You got,
Fuck off.
Dude,
I mean,
at least one of them is going to say some just
That
hilarious
could
shit.
mean both ways. That could mean both ways.
It could go both ways.
That's a great take.
They
it's
could
either
either-
interesting because they give good sound bites.
Yeah, I mean, you got Kyrie Irving, you got Kevin Durant, you got James Harden, Steve Nash, D'Antoni,
They're going to
Stoudemire.
say,
I mean, it's an incredible nucleus of
It's
sound
gonna-
bites.
dude, I
and then-
can't wait for Stoudemire to go full black Israelite on national television. It's gonna rule so hard.
Hey, so so last take before we move on to some free agency rumors. Look, if James Harden gets traded to the Nets, I'm 100% down for this. You know, if he
Yeah, of
doesn't,
course.
so be it.
James Harden,
There's
why
Drew
wouldn't you be
Holiday.
down for it? That's like saying no to a triple A or cheesecake.
That's true. That is true. So
Sorry, I'm on a
look,
no Harden diet.
if James Harden doesn't get traded to the Nets, so be it. There's Drew Holiday out there. Let's do it. Okay. Either way, even if none of those trades happen, we still have a solid enough roster to compete.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
That's what it is.
I like
That's my
I
take.
like how we're splitting hairs about like, oh, will they get also Harden to go with like two of the greatest players at what they do in history?
Dude, it's
Essentially,
off season. We're starved for content. All right, we gotta.
Facts. Essentially, look, the Nets are like primed for playoff or championship contention, where whatever happens the next couple of days, maybe the next week.
Yeah, definitely. As much as I meme, that is true.
Yes.
But think about how you got to remember though, every other Eastern Conference fan, think about how awesome it would be to knock off the Nets if you managed to do that.
I mean, it'd be great for whoever does do it.
You know,
and I'd respect it. I'd be pissed, but I'd respect it.
As a fan of the team that knocked off the first seed this year, you know, it's a great.
And
feeling.
also the third seed, like
because we all know the Bucks are frauds. Look, all right, okay.
You know,
actually,
it was just a really bad matchup for the Bucks.
No, all right, look. Look. So I know. So we're talking about the Bucks here, right? You know, I know we were going to talk some free agency, but I want to put this out there. The Bucks are doing anything in their power to like force Giannis to leave. Okay, because it was reported after, I think it was by Chris Mannix of
that they
Sports
didn't even
Illustrated.
try for
They
Chris
did not
Paul.
even try to Chris Paul.
But I want to offer something in the Bucks' defense. It is not a good idea to stake your franchise player's future on a 36-year-old injury-prone 6-foot tall point guard.
Yeah, but they were trying to trade for Dennis Schroeder, right? Why would?
Sorry, real quick before we get deep into this, do you guys think if the Nets traded for James Harden and basically gutted their team, do you think they would be willing to sign Hassan Whiteside to the minimum to make to add to their roster? Because oh my god, those press conferences would be amazing.
Please, no.
They would
That's
be
what the Lakers
amazing.
did.
I would rather take crippled Boogie Cousins
over
Hassan Whiteside.
We're keeping crippled Boogie Cousins on our team. We're signing into another minimum.
I would rather take crippled Boogie Cousins.
He's not
okay. Here's my take on the Bucks before we actually move on to free agency. Look, the Bucks, I feel, in my honest opinion, like they have no idea what they're doing. You know,
like on a scale of 1 to Rockets, how bad is it?
Why Rockets?
Sorry, that was so.
They had a plan.
That's true.
I don't know, because like I generally have no idea how to scale this, because think about it, right? Giannis himself goes out saying like, look, if they don't make the right moves, I'm out of here, right? Because I want to win a championship, right?
Ironically, the Bucks need Fred VanVleet. Like it's weird to say, but they kind of do.
Oh my gosh, he's trying to push some Fred VanVleet propaganda on us.
No, they do need a playmaker,
but they do actually need that, yes,
and someone who can shoot threes at a consistent clip.
Yeah. Okay. So with that, right?
Although, so Middleton. So,
but I don't think they have the amount. They have the money to get Fred VanVleet. So let's put it this way: they tried to trade for Schroeder. Okay, that obviously didn't work out. Obviously, the next ideal person you would go for would, if you didn't get Schroeder, would probably be what? Chris Paul, if he wasn't the first person already. So the fact that the Milwaukee Bucks, who didn't want to get an all NBA caliber player in Chris Paul, who we've seen, if healthy, can do very well, right? Can shot create, shoot threes, come up in the clutch, literally alleviate any pressure off Giannis, and you don't go for, at least try to go for that guy. That says something about the Bucks.
He's like 50. Like, I get why they didn't want to go for him.
So yeah, he's 35, 36. Okay. We saw what he did with the Thunder at that age.
That's true,
right?
actually.
he can still hoop. He can still be a reliable asset. And that's what the Phoenix Suns traded for. The Phoenix Suns did did the smart move. Are they guaranteed a playoff spot? No, right? They're not.
I think
But
they are.
It's kind of what I talked about, I think, in one of our episodes where I said that the Suns needed to do something to push them to the next level. At least they get a sense of keeping Booker and progressing
They did it.
upwards. That Chris Paul trade, it was way
Yeah.
more steps higher than my Gallinari proposal. Gives them a good point guard that they can that will help them elevate their ceiling, and gets the ball in Booker and Aiden's hands much better, and it's just a good fit for the team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's the thing. Like, look, like Chris Paul going to the Suns at least gives me a better like feel that yes, they can totally compete for a playoff spot, right? That's a guarantee that they're guaranteed competing for that, right? For the Bucks, if they were to trade for CP3, then I'd be like, yes, they are legitimately like championship contending now, right? But since they didn't even try to pursue it, it's like, well, they're not.
The Bucks
Then
have
what are they
been
going to
in
do?
championship contention. It's just that nothing they did are staying put.
Yeah.
Look, I'm sorry, but like they couldn't beat no offense to the Miami Heat, but they couldn't beat the Miami Heat. Like, and the Miami, like, I understand, the Kawhi Raptors, one of the best defensive playoff teams ever. The Miami Heat were a worse team than the Kawhi Raptors, and they got their butts handed to them on a silver platter.
I called it.
Completely owned.
I called it a long time ago that I would the Miami Heat would either sweep or win in 5 because they were just a bad matchup for them.
Terrible matchup.
They literally had a guy they had like 3 guys you could put on Giannis, and they shot the ball better. And I think the Bucks cut out their losses when they noticed that they needed someone like Brogdon or another like an actual 2 guy who could put the ball in. They didn't have that shot creator. And Middleton was there for like 1 game. That was it.
Damn, I wonder what happened to Brogdon.
I know.
What happened?
But that's what I'm saying.
What happened to Brogdon, guys?
Brogdon got flamed in round 1 by Goran Dragic.
Apparently.
That is true.
But see, that's the thing though. Like, look,
by 80-year-old Goran Dragic.
But that's the thing though. See, like, look, the Bucks are already in championship contend, and they are championship contenders. But I would have felt more confident that they were serious about competing for the title if they went for CP3. Like, I know they. Yeah. I know, like we talked about the CP3 trade, earlier in the stream, but genuinely, like the Bucks, like tremendously messed up this. They fumbled the bag here.
I honestly think there's other point guards though that the Bucks can go for. In my view, I think the Bucks should go for Ricky Rubio. Minimum. I think the Bucks should try and trade for Ricky Rubio. Look, Bledsoe's not working.
Yeah, it's just do the Thunders want it?
I don't think the Thunder want him. I think the Thunder would try to flip him for picks.
Yeah, Thunder are trying to get as many 6th graders as they possibly can, dude.
Yo, get Chris Hansen on this. This is something suspicious.
Sam Presti is scouting middle schools right now.
Yo, Chris Hansen.
Can I talk about the Clippers for a second? Because the Clippers,
oh my God,
the Clippers also need Ricky Rubio.
They traded 6th, 7th, and 8th graders for fucking Paul George. Okay.
Some child like
insane. And just think about it. If you're like a 6th or 8th grader and you're like one of the best players in your basketball team, you have an actual shot to like get up there, get recruited, all that. Think about all of those people. You could be one of those people and be like, oh, yo, I got traded for Paul George. Like, that to me is insane. Okay. Think about it.
Oh my
God. There's like a 14-year-old kid out there who's like, yeah, I got traded for Paul George. No big deal.
Is that what Tatum and Brown were thinking when the Nets Celtics trade happened?
Man, I'm gonna go to the Celtics.
It's so meta thinking. I don't know if like I should feel bad or good for. It's just in the back of my mind knowing that like whoever the people at Clippers management are, what's his name, Lawrence Frank. That's he's like, yeah, I'm trading away 2025 5-star, all-star American recruits for Paul George. Like, holy crap.
There are
That to me is insane.
prepubescent kids who were just traded for Paul George.
Jesus. Oh my god. Anyway,
this is gonna be like, I was traded for Paul George.
oh my gosh. You know what? This is a good. Speaking of the Clippers, this is actually a good way to
That's a
finally
very
talk about
unique
free agency.
Ricky, just trade for get Ricky
appreciate
Rubio, guys. Come on,
God.
get Rubio. You need someone.
I know.
You really
I know.
need
We're
someone.
memeing on this.
What were you
I know,
saying, bud?
I know. This is an emergency live stream, and we're memeing. But that's actually a good segue talking about the Clippers
They need Rubio.
to free agency. It has been rumored. I think last night. This is after the Lakers traded for Dennis Schroeder that since Rondo did decline and is going to be a free agent, that his most likely targets are the Clippers and the Hawks. If we do process of elimination, that means he's probably going to go for the Clippers. So Clippers could shore up their needs for an actual playmaker, not named Patrick Beverly, who just runs around and pretends that he's doing something.
He has the most yells per game out of any player in the NBA. Thank you very much. He has 50,000 syllables spoken per game.
I also want to get your take on this one, guys. Other news coming out of LA. Avery Bradley obviously is probably going to decline his player option and pursue free agency. It has been rumored that the Warriors have a good amount of interest, and so do the Bucks, I believe.
Warriors don't have the space for it.
They have the 17 million TPE.
Oh,
Yeah, they have the player exception, and they also have Wiggins.
Yeah,
true.
So, but either way, they have a legitimate shot at getting Avery Bradley. So, since that's one of the bigger news today, do you how much on the scale do you guys think that Avery Bradley matters to the Warriors here?
The Warriors?
Yes, I'm going. That's the most likely destination because they're going to him.
I don't think he pushes the needle for them in any significant way.
My view is like, you're gonna get where are you gonna find a guard that's better than Klay Thompson? Like, you're not gonna. It's not gonna happen.
I think if you're the Warriors, you need to find a suitable replacement for Wiggins if there is one. Because that to me is more important. I think that Avery Bradley to the Warriors is non-meaningful in any aspect. Like, you still have a pretty set starting or your three top guys, and I throw in Wiggins and all your other peeps in there. This doesn't really mean anything for them. I just want to know how much the Lakers value Avery Bradley, considering that he was an important piece for us before the shutdown happened in March, and after knowing that we won a championship without him playing a single minute on the floor in the bubble.
Yeah, and again, like, KCP also declined his player option, which I think is also an important thing. So are they going to be able to afford to pay both of them?
I think that what we will probably do is let Bradley walk. I don't think KCP goes anywhere else, considering that he's a clutch dude. He's probably going to
KCP is staying with
Kentavious Clutchwell Pope.
Yeah, he's staying with the Lakers. There's no way he leaves.
Yeah, I don't think he played decently enough.
He's got a good gig there. I don't know why, and they're gonna pay him. They will pay him.
I was yelling at him less than I was yelling at Danny Green in the playoffs, so I have no qualms if he stays.
He's had some good finals performances.
Danny Green is Danny gone.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he's been gone, right? Like, you got Dennis Schroeder supposedly.
Huge shout out to Danny Green.
So yeah, thank you, Danny, for that
missing
first
shot in Game 5. Huge props, Danny.
Thank you for Game 1. Thank you for Game 1 in 2020. Thank you for Game 3 in 2019, and nothing else. Thanks for almost throwing away the championship for two separate teams.
Jesus.
I have.
Love to see it.
It's not an exaggeration. It's so mean, but it's not an exaggeration.
I've been a Danny Green apologist. I think what he can bring, if Danny Green plays like he should, he is, or he was one of the better 3-and-D guys out there in the league. But yeah, he just didn't cut enough for us. He had a 7.3-pointer game or 7 3-pointer game. First game of the season against the Clippers, he was like our best player. Yeah, the other guys didn't
I
play.
remember that.
Yeah, after that he just disappeared. Yeah, but in all fairness, like I do want to wish Danny the best in OKC. I hope he does. Hope he does well there.
3 rings.
Yeah, I hope that for all sakes and purposes we do keep KCP. I think I wouldn't mind Shooter as a starting guy either. I think he can fit well in that role,
Oh, I agree.
passing it to LeBron and AD and being a third tertiary scorer.
What a lineup of KCP, Bradley, or I guess it would be Bradley, or not Bradley, Schroeder, KCP, Braun, Davis, and then one of the Lakers like 50-year-old bigs. Like, would that be a
There you
good
go.
lineup?
Yeah, it would. That'd be a solid lineup.
You get
100%.
Hakeem Olajuwon to play a couple minutes for you.
Yeah, fine.
Maybe Kareem can sub in
my
off the
gosh.
bench.
Oh my god. Last bit of news. Before we
Stanley Johnson accepted his player option.
I hate you.
We're gonna get the.
I hate you. That's not what I was gonna go for. That's not what I was gonna go for.
Dude, he's about to win Finals MVP next year. Calling it right now.
God.
He sucked all year, and then for no reason, just like 1-2 games for us right at the end of the season when it didn't matter anymore. For no reason, he scored he got I think it was 5, 4, and 4 in the last 9 minutes of one game, including a game winner, and then 23, 4, and 6 the next game.
Oh god.
After sucking the entire season. Sorry. It was
Anyway,
so funny though.
God, legitimate news now. Gosh, I love how we meme so much. It's a love-hate relationship. But last bit of news here: DeMar DeRozan earlier today opted into his $27 million player option. This was no surprise. However, this is still a very tradable contract. Do you guys think he stays on the team past draft day, or is he gone?
Fuck it. We got 1 year left on his contract. Bring him back.
Wait, who? Oh. Sorry, say it again.
DeMar DeRozan.
Oh, DeMar. On what team is he on?
Spurs.
Or he's still on the Spurs, right? Yeah, I think. I don't know.
Does he stay on the team though, past the draft, or
who else is paying him?
I mean,
I think there's plenty of teams that would be willing to pay him. I personally, I would love for the Heat to try to get him.
If it's for 1 year, I don't see why a team like the Heat wouldn't try to get him.
I think it'd be like the Hawks or the Magic, realistically.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of teams are going to be, a lot of the contending teams, the ones that made deep playoff runs last season, are going to be pretty much heavy load managing this year. So having a guy like DeMar that can win you games against, some of the not so good teams, it's a good thing to have.
DeMar's going to drop 50 against the Charlotte Hornets.
Oh, as a member of the Atlanta Hawks, because if we, again, Atlanta Hawks have been very active in the trade market, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Hawks were to trade maybe John Collins for DeRozan.
I would not be surprised to see them trade if they really want to get rid of some players. If they want to get a huge expiring contract and maybe make a run at the 8th seed, I would not be surprised if they did trade their 6th pick. I don't think it's too likely though.
Yeah. So here's my thing, right? Like I think, and there's also the rumor now that John Collins, sources have said, and this is not my own sources, this is like what I've been reading on Twitter. Twitter's my source. From numerous, NBA reporters that, hey, take a look at Atlanta. and what they do with John Collins, because that might be a situation there that he might get traded. So, um, that's pretty much the news on that end.
Has there been any rumors or anything about Brandon Ingram?
No, so far the prevailing idea is that Brandon Ingram's going to stay in New Orleans.
He
He's
should
gonna help
stay
out.
for a good,
So,
decent 3, 4,
Um,
restricted. Yeah.
I
we
would
have
pay
some,
the man.
oh no,
we
he's
have,
gonna. I know he's gonna get paid. I'm wondering if he doesn't strike me as a guy that would be happy in a small city
I think
like
he's
New Orleans.
restricted free agency, is what the document says. Is what.
Well, yeah, because he just got off his rookie whatever contract.
Oh,
yeah, that's true. Also, I have some breaking news now from the NBA Twitterverse.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Kuzma was cyberbullied off of Twitter.
Kyle Kuzma, yeah, his Twitter account does not exist anymore. His
I
stuff,
don't understand, man.
Yes.
I don't get it. Why
if you go
Y'all
on
are
his account,
Lakers fans are so mean. God.
if you guys go on his Twitter account, it says tweets aren't loading right now. Someone has sent me a screenshot
Let me
saying
check what my peers are saying because I
Kyle
have.
Kuzma, this account doesn't exist. Try searching for another.
Oh god, why?
Um,
I don't understand how these
Stephen A.
multi-million
Burner has
dollar
confirmed it.
Stephen A. Burner.
Has confirmed it. That's the most
Yo,
legitimate source here.
Stephen A. Smith Burner is low key one of the best sports accounts on.
What do
I
you
know.
mean one of?
He's like goat tier.
He is.
So-
Yeah, perfect reactions for everything. It has everything to do with Stephen A.
So I'm going to assume y'all. I'm just going to assume now. What you call it?
He probably just got informed he got traded. I'll be honest.
I would die if that was like this is the actual situation. Not that we cyberbullied him for saying I'll make you guys remember, or that he
That would be
hoarded 5 PS5s.
Oh
Maybe,
yeah, he didn't
Maybe
actually have.
Rob Palenka shot him a text and he was like, "Yo, kid, you need to be more mature, or else we're gonna pull the plug on you." Something.
I think LeBron was ready to pull that particular plug a while ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, LeBron
You
just
bet, you think?
sent Kuzma to the Hornets for like a half-eaten ham sandwich and the 2030 second round pick.
He sent him for that for the sandwich and the pick that'll become Bryce James.
Oh wow! Not even Ronnie James is Bryce. I freaking hate you.
Bryce, who is Bryce James?
That's
second
LeBron's
middle-
second son, younger son. He's in like third grade or something.
No, I think he's like a middle school.
Oh, he is. Oh, okay. I don't really keep up with the LeBron family like that, but
That would have been a great joke if I understood who the LeBron family was. If I knew who Bryce James.
Anyway,
No, they're gonna draft They're gonna draft Riley Curry.
oh gosh. Oh my gosh. Anyway, y'all, thank you guys for joining me today for this emergency live stream. As y'all know, we are close to getting to affiliate. So to all our supporters, thank you guys for following us. We just have to meet a couple other goals that Twitch has to make us do. And we'll get there. So, again, just a reminder again on Wednesday, tune into our NBA draft live stream. It's going to be lit. Stay tuned. It's gonna be really fun. You're gonna see us meme a lot, and then also give actual better draft analysis than what ESPN can provide you. So
Who's
tune in.
ESPN's draft? It's not that other guy anymore, right? Who is it?
It's
Because
Jonathan Gavoni of Draft Express.
More like Jonathan Jabroni.
Oh my god! I hate you. See, this is the content you guys gonna get. This is the content you
he's
guys.
one of the
gonna
only
get.
decent people on that network.
Yes, that is true. And Woj.
Yeah,
I'm the Jonathan Jabroni of Nephew Hours.
I have a love-hate relationship with Woj because he doesn't have inside sources with us, and he
Anymore. It's Brian Windhorst that does.
he sucks off to the Celtics. So like,
hey,
that's another story for another time.
Oh gosh. But anyway, guys. To review. Oh, what is that, Eastman?
Franco added us in the NBA chat. It's a message from Dan. When the Raptors
yeah.
acquired Stanley Johnson, Dan said, "I don't know why we gave Stanley so much money to begin with, but he's thankfully gone for the big free agency season."
Look, I have never said a bad word about Stanley
Oh
Johnson.
my
I
God.
never
Shut
expressed in
up. You
any
just
way.
did.
I
You
never
just
expressed
did.
in any way that I am
You
incredibly
just
thankful
did.
that we don't have to
Oh
pay him in
my God.
2021 when actual important
Oh
people
my
become available.
gosh.
I never said that.
Okay.
Fake
I
news.
okay.
The
Well,
votes are not being counted yet.
while we deal with our PR guy with
He
this,
just left. He just left.
while we deal with our PR guy dealing with Dan somehow disappearing from our chat, I just want to again, if you guys don't follow us on Twitch already, follow us. If you don't follow us on Instagram, follow us. You know, can help us build a brand. If you
We got
guys don't,
54 followers now. So
I know
we
if
have
you guys
enough.
don't follow us on Instagram or YouTube, do that. Can help us continue building the brand. It's great. But again, we'll see you all on on Wednesday. We're gonna leave you off with that screenshot. Thank you all for the love and support. We will see you all Wednesday. It's gonna be exciting. We'll be here around 7:30. So goodbye, everybody, and good night.